How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech, and today we're going to be doing a nice long discussion on smartphones and how we've sort of reached that plateau on all of the smartphone manufacturers. And we're going to do innovation, we're going to do like design, we're going to talk about what accessories we get now compared to what we used to get. All the innovation going towards foldables and how everything is AI related. So, yeah, I've been wanting to do a video like this for quite some time. Just a simple sit down and listen to me yap about bullshit. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to try to do. And yeah, we're gonna talk about smartphones and how lately I've not been that excited about certain smartphones. Let's talk about innovation. So going on over to innovation of these smartphones, it's the same thing pretty much every year. The Galaxy S series has looked the same since the S22. The iPhone series has looked the same since the iPhone 13. Pixel has changed up just a little bit, and everything is pretty much becoming iPhone clones. Why does everybody want to be like Apple? I understand people love Apple, but come on, we need some diversity in our smartphone area. And I believe LG probably would not be following the Apple craze. They'd be doing their own thing if they were still around right now. RIP LG. They did do a lot of crazy shit, but they at least they tried stuff out of the box. They tried to innovate, they tried to do some weird stuff. They tried. Okay, now people aren't trying anymore. I feel like everybody's just sticking to the same thing year after year. We're getting these incremental updates with smartphones and their design. And I miss the days of the Galaxy, the Galaxy S8, the S9, the Galaxy S10, when they tried to do that whole Galaxy S10 E series, or was it the E, or it was that smaller Galaxy 10 series that was actually pretty cool, and I had that phone. It was actually a nice phone. And other smartphones like LG, they did a lot of stuff different back then, and those were fun times because even the Note series, they were all pretty cool too. We had different styles, there were little incremental updates, but they were fun, back then, unboxing these videos or doing unboxing videos of these devices and being excited every year for something to look different and to change with these devices. And I miss those days. Nowadays, I feel like everything is just the same old, more of the same every single year. And it's not really boring, but it's getting a little bit stale. Like everything is sort of just reached its plateau, and we're just getting the same thing every year. Yeah, granted, little upgrades here and there. Displays, we're on this a whole brightness craze over these past couple of years. I don't know why displays are getting brighter. That seems to be a thing. That's cool. I love big bright displays. We've gone to the whole flat design, away from curved edges. Again, iPhone-like. And everybody's doing the same thing. Google, Samsung, even other smartphone makers. I even hear the OnePlus is going to make the OnePlus 13 might have a flat screen. Again, why is everybody wanting to copy Apple? If I wanted to get an iPhone, I'd go buy a freaking iPhone. I want Android to look different, be diverse, be fun, not to copy someone else. And yeah, I feel the same way about software too. I miss the days of when Android was named after desserts, marshmallow, nougat, and every year we got different icons for these different names, which was fun. And I missed that. Every year was different. Now, the Google Pixels have looked the same for the past, I want to say, 4 years already, with the same icons, the same layout, and everything. Even Samsung devices, their icons and UI has looked the same. The One UI has looked the same for the past several years already, and even with the upcoming Samsung One UI 7, I hear that might look more like an Apple device when it comes down to the notification shade and your quick toggles and stuff like that. And we might get some redesigned icons, which is cool. But like I said, we're barely getting a change in One UI 7 when it comes down to the aesthetics and the looks. Everything has been the same for the past several years. And even with iPhones, same thing. And now they're barely coming out with the option to theme their icons and always on displays and stuff like that. Way too late in the game, guys. Way too late in the game. Been there, done that. We've already had that with Android. So the innovation and the design of all these smartphones have just sort of just coming to be the same every year. Nothing special. And we're essentially getting the same smartphone every year. People are spending thousands of dollars to upgrade every year for the same smartphone. Yeah, it might have a brighter display. Cameras might be just a little bit better, but nothing really groundbreaking. And it's just the same thing. So it's not really exciting to buy a smartphone anymore. People are holding on to their older smartphones now just because nobody's bringing anything new to the table when it comes down to diversity, design, and features and things like that. That's just my opinion. I don't think people are bringing anything to the table, and things are getting boring. And I just think that we need companies more like LG who brought stuff and like to think out of the box and to do things differently. Smartphones are all just doing the same thing over and over again, copying each other. And yeah, it's getting boring. That's just my thoughts. I miss the old days. And I miss the old days of what we got when we bought a smartphone. Back in the day, when you buy a Galaxy device, the S8s, the 9s, even before that, we get a lot of stuff in the box. We got a charging brick, we got headphones, we got a USB cable. It was nice. And even with the Note devices, we got all of that. And I remember we also used to get that little tool for the S Pen that you could change out the tips for the S Pen. Whatever happened to that? We don't get that with the with the Galaxy Ultra series anymore. It has an S Pen. What happened to that little toolkit? Granted, I didn't use it. You could change out the tips, have some that are harder or softer. That was pretty cool. We got all of that with the Note devices back in the day. Now you get the smartphone and a cable and a SIM ejection tool. That's it. The boxes are like paper thin, and pretty soon we're just going to be getting a smartphone in bubble wrap in a little box, and that's it. You have to go buy your charger, you have to go buy your cable, you're going to have to go buy your SIM ejection tool for shit's sake, pretty soon. And they're raising the money. So they're raising the prices every year, and we're getting less. So I feel the companies, we're giving to them, the consumer is giving to the company, but the company is not giving back to the consumer when it comes down to what we get when we buy a smartphone nowadays. Now, granted, we have all these lower smartphone manufacturers like Xiaomi and Blue and, New. They give us all of that stuff in the box. Granted, it's cheap stuff, and these smartphones are way cheaper. So I don't understand how a cheaper smartphone can give us more in a box than a $1,000 smartphone gives us less in a box. It's just crazy to me. And that's why people are going towards cheaper devices, and that's why people are holding on to their devices for much longer. I got people still using an LG G8 for shit's sakes, LG V60, and those are their main devices, and they have not upgraded. A lot of people are still using iPhone 12s. Some people are iPhone 11s. Some of these devices aren't even getting updates anymore, but people are still rocking them because they do not want to spend the money. They can't afford to spend the money, and I myself am one of them. I can't I can't afford to be spending money on these smartphones. They're getting more expensive every year, which is harder for me to do my reviews on some of these newer smartphones. I can't afford them. I wish I could get them. I couldn't get the Galaxy S24 Ultra this year. I had to get the Galaxy S24 Plus. The Pixels, I would have liked to gotten the new Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, but I had to get the regular Google Pixel 9. I would have liked to gotten the new Pixel Fold, but couldn't afford it because it's too damn expensive. It's nearly $2,000. Like, a lot of people cannot afford these high price smartphones, so they're saying, fuck it. I'm gonna hold on to my older smartphone. It does everything I need it to do. And that's all people care about. Smartphone makes calls, goes on the internet, and you could text, take some pictures, then it's good enough for that consumer, for that person. And that's good. Props to that person. I give them praise or whatever. That's good. They don't care about the latest and greatest. Of course, us YouTubers do, because that's how we make our videos. We got to stay up to date. And yeah, it's hard, but that's for another video, talking about YouTube and how hard it is. So yeah, I missed the old days of the S8 series all the way up to the S10s. The Notes, I miss all of those unboxing videos that I used to do. They were so fun. Now we don't even do primary unboxing videos. It's B-roll for reviews now. It's just nothing. OnePlus still gives us stuff in the box, so that's cool. Even Motorola is starting to stray away and not include chargers in the box. Apple, they've done away with the stickers. It's just getting crazy. They're charging us more money and giving us less in return. And yeah, it sucks, but that's the way of the world. If you don't want it, don't buy it, I guess. It just sucks, And I feel like next thing is foldables. All the innovation is going towards foldables. Samsung, even though all their foldables have looked the same for the past 3 or 4 years, nothing's really evolved there. Other manufacturers, China, manufacturers have done more innovation on their foldables than Samsung, but Samsung's definitely getting lazy on that. But again, not everybody could afford a foldable smartphone. Maybe the little flips, yeah, they're cute and they are cheaper, but still, they're $1,000. Regular Samsung Z Fold 5 or 6, whatever generation we're on now, it's like $2,000. The Pixel Fold, it's $2,000, and not everybody could afford it. I wish I could get a foldable. Closest that thing I came to was a Z Flip 5 and the Motorola Razr, the second one when that came out. And I think that was it. Those were the 2 foldables I've ever had, because I can't really afford the big boys. They're just too damn expensive. Even with trade-ins, they're too expensive. And yeah, that's not me complaining. That's just me stating the truth right there. Foldables are expensive and not everybody could afford them. We need cheaper options, and there are cheaper options out there, but they're not here in the US. And yeah, everything is going towards foldables. They're like, oh, these companies aren't innovative enough. And people are saying, yeah, they are. They're creating foldables. Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the main candy bar devices that we need innovation on. And yeah, companies are just focused on foldables, making something fold, 4 or 3 times to fit in your pocket, but then unfold. That way you could have a big old laptop in your lap, And that's cool and all. I love it. But they're just not as durable as your regular smartphone when it comes down to that display. It's pretty much a plastic display. And if you press it too hard, you're screwed. That thing will pretty much stop working. And they're not as durable as a regular smartphone. They're nice, yes, but I don't see a foldable lasting, 7 years that Samsung says they're going to update their devices or whatever, or Google. That foldable ain't going to last that long if you use it like a normal smartphone, which is crazy. But yeah, it's just crazy about we spend more money every year and get less in return. from all these smartphone manufacturers, and I just think that we need something different. We need prices to go down every year. They just keep going up and up and up, at least $50 to $100 every year on all these smartphones. And what are we getting? A little bit of a brighter display, a little bit of a better camera. Everything is the same. Design is the same. A little tweak here and there, but not really anything special or groundbreaking. Software still the same. And now we're getting AI stuff, like all this AI, AI this, AI that, and yeah, it's cool, it's cute, but it's also kind of scary. All this AI in your smartphone. It's gonna freaking come like the Terminator and kill your ass. But I understand how some parts can be useful, but a lot of it is just gimmick stuff. Like being able to edit your photos and stuff like that. That's fun. You can mess around with the photo and have a good time. And the circle to search, I like. I use that a lot. Yeah, some of the stuff is useful, but a lot of it is just gimmicky stuff, and they're focused on that. And they're like, well, our phone has AI, and there's the upgrade. Give us an extra $100 for it. Call it a day. And yeah, a lot of people are focused on AI. Google, Samsung, even OnePlus is starting to get on board. Motorola, they're all Apple Intelligence, even though they didn't release AI or Apple Intelligence on their smartphones. The iPhone 16, when it came out, it's barely going to come out. I think, I don't know, soon. I don't keep up with Apple devices as much as I do Android devices. But when they released the iPhone 16, it did not have Apple Intelligence. So even though they kept boasting about it in all their freaking ads, but AI is another big craze. And yeah, like I said, it's cute. Some stuff is fun to use, but not all of it is as useful as it needs to be. Like, I need my phone to, wake me up and make my coffee for me and cook my breakfast. If that's going to be AI, then it needs to do all of that shit. And obviously smartphones aren't going to do that. But I just think it's a gimmick, and a lot of people are focused on that too much, and they're forgetting about everything else on a smartphone. And yeah, we've reached our plateau. Smartphones, they do everything we need them to do. They take really good pictures. I mean, we really can't get any better than the cameras we have on our smartphones, unless you buy an actual real camera. But they're all the same. We know what a smartphone can do. We know they take good shots, good pictures. We know it's fast. We know the performance is going to be there every year. We know it's going to have, a nice display. We just know what to expect every year with the smartphone. We've reached that peak of smartphone greatness to where there's really not much. There's nowhere to go. The final frontier, I guess. And now people are moving on over to foldables and focus on those and leaving the regular smartphones behind, just to focus on foldables and charge more money for foldables and make more money. These companies do not need to make any more money. They are fine. They need to help us out and help us to save on money. These companies are doing just fine on their own, and we need people like LG back, honestly. LG is a big company. I'm sure they can make a little return and give us something fun and different. And I know they were working on a foldable before they went out, but yeah, a lot of people are still talking about LG, and yeah, it's an old story. We want them back and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I just wanted to just go on over that and talk about smartphones, innovation, design, what we used to get, what we get now, and just pretty much vent. That's pretty much it. Nothing special here. And yeah, I miss older smartphones. I miss the fun days of doing unboxing videos and, different dessert named Android platform. It's just Android 15, 14, whatever. That's it. Nothing new. But thank you guys for listening to me. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. I don't even know how long I've been talking. It's definitely not one of those long podcast videos. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Comment down below if you have any questions or thoughts, or if you think the same thing, or if I just talk too damn much. And don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on future videos. Hopefully not like this one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.